Looking for a qualification to prove that you have the language skills to live and work independently in an English-speaking country? Or to study on courses taught in English? Well, today I'm going to talk about the most popular Cambridge English exam, the B2 First. So stay tuned and listen to everything you need to know about the FCE. Hello exam seekers, I'm Patty and today I'm talking about the B2 First, former FCE. In a recent video I talked about the Cambridge English Main Suite, which is a set of exams from Cambridge Assessment that provides proof of people's ability to use English in a wide variety of contexts relevant to work, study, and leisure activities. It goes from A2 to the C2 of the CEFR, the Common European Framework of Reference. I've already made a video about the C2 Proficiency, the CPE, which is the highest level qualification that Cambridge English can offer you. And I've talked about the C1 Advanced, the CAE, the second most difficult exam from Cambridge. Today, I'm talking about the B2 First, the most popular exam from Cambridge English. So, in this video, I'm gonna tell you what the B2 First exam is, what it involves, how it is assessed and graded, and if it is worth paying for it. What is the B2 First? The B2 First, formerly known as FCE, First Certificate in English, is one of the Cambridge English Proficiency exams. According to Cambridge Assessment, a B2 level qualification shows the world that you can communicate effectively face-to-face, expressing opinion, and presenting arguments. It also shows that you can follow the news, write clear and detailed English, expressing opinions, and explaining the advantages and disadvantages of different points of view, and write letters, reports, stories, and lots of other types of text. You may ask me why I say former FCE, right? Well, up until 2017, Cambridge used to name the exam that qualified people at a B2 level of the CEFR as FCE, First Certificate in English, or Cambridge English First. However, they decided to change it, and now it is known as B2 First. I guess they decided on changing to relate the exams to the CEFR. I think it was a nice change, but people still refer to the B2 First as FCE. For those familiar with the CEFR table, this is the fourth exam out of 6, as you can see here. So, what does the B2 First involve? The B2 First exam is divided into 4 sections: reading and use of English, listening, writing, and speaking. The first exam is the reading and use of English, which consists of 52 questions divided into 7 parts. You have up to 1 hour and 15 minutes to finish the exam. In this exam, questions 1 to 24 and 43 to 53 carry 1 mark. Questions 25 to 30 carry up to 2 marks, and questions 31 to 42 bear 2 marks. You come across exercises such as multiple choice questions, open-close, word formation, gap text, and multiple matching. Part 1 to 4, you read a range of texts and do grammar and vocabulary tasks. Part 5 to 7, you read a series of texts and answer questions that test your reading ability and show that you can deal with a variety of different types of texts. The second exam is the listening exam, which consists of 30 questions divided into 4 parts. The tracks will be played twice before moving on to the following piece. The full recording takes approximately 40 minutes, and all questions carry 1 mark for each correct answer. Part 1. Multiple choice questions for each of 8 short conversations. You have to choose A, B, or C. Part 2. Complete the sentences from a 3-minute monologue. Part 3. 5 30-second monologue from which you have to select 5 correct options out of 8 possible answers. And Part 4. Multiple choice questions for a 3 to 4 minute conversation. You have to choose A, B, C, or D. The third exam is the writing exam, which consists of 2 parts in which you are asked to write 2 different types of texts. For both parts, you are required to write from 140 to 190 words. You have up to 1 hour and 20 minutes to finish writing both texts. Part 1 is a compulsory task. You are given an essay title and 2 ideas clearly linked to the title. Write an essay giving your opinions about the title using the ideas given. You must also add a third different idea of your own linked to the title. Part 2 is a situationally based writing task. You write a text from a choice of text types: article, email, letter, report, or a review. The fourth exam is the speaking exam, which consists of a 14-minute talk divided into 4 parts. The exam should be done in pairs or a trio. Part 1. Brief introductory exchange for 2 minutes. The examiner will ask questions to each of the candidates individually. You may have to give information about your interests, studies, career, and etc. Part 2. You have to speak for about 1 minute without interruption about 2 pictures provided to you. The interlocutor then asks the other candidate to comment on your photograph for about 30 seconds. After that, it is your turn to comment on your peer's long turn. The questions you have to answer about your photographs are written at the top of the page to remind you what you should talk about. Part 3. You will discuss some ideas based on written prompts with the other candidates for 2 minutes. After the discussion, the examiner will ask you another question which requires you to make a decision. You have 1 minute to make a decision. Part 4. You will discuss for 4 to 5 minutes the topic from Part 3 in more depth. Depending on the center, you will not be able to sit for all parts in one go, and there is a chance that the speaking part will be scheduled on a different day. So make sure you check all dates beforehand so that you won't miss any part of the exam, which can be extremely demanding to your overall performance. Also, the test can be paper-based or computer-based. There are not many differences, but you should think about which one is the best for you. Now, what about the assessment and the grades? Your overall performance is calculated by averaging the scores you achieve in reading, writing, listening, speaking, and use of English. The weighing of each of the 4 skills and use of English is equal. There are, however, some characteristics of the speaking and the written exams that you should be aware of. In the speaking exam, there are 2 examiners. The interlocutor, the one who speaks to you, awards you a mark for your global achievement. The assessor, the one who just listens at the back, uses 5 assessment criteria to give you marks, which are grammatical resource, lexical resource, discourse management, pronunciation, and interactive communication. And in the written task, in both texts you write, they are marked using 4 criteria: content, communication achievement, organization, and language. It is worth considering that now Cambridge gives you a certificate no matter the grade you get. For instance, if you register for the B2 first but end up getting a lower grade, you will not be left without a certificate, as it used to be before. Instead, you will get a B1 preliminary certificate if that's the case. On the other hand, if you get a terrible grade, you won't get either a B2 certificate or a B1 preliminary certificate. This is the grading system. Pass at grade 1 from 180 to 190. Pass at grade B from 173 to 179. Pass at grade C from 160 to 172. B1 level from 140 to 159. Fail from 0 to 139. So, if you end up getting lower than 140 in your B2 first exam, then it will be a fail. Otherwise, you will still have the chance to get a certificate. Each person who sits for the exam will have a statement of results. In it, you will find the scores according to the Cambridge English scale for each of the 4 skills: reading, use of English, writing, listening, and speaking. A score on the Cambridge English scale for the overall exam, a grade for the overall exam, the CEFR level for the overall exam, and of course, extra information about your performance. The statement of results will come out around a month after the exam, and you can check it online, while the certificate usually takes around 2 months to arrive at the center that you registered. I had been teaching English for about 3 years when I sat for my first Cambridge English exam. This is my statement of results. As you can see, back in 2011, they still called it FCE. Also, you can check the grades and how well I did in the listening, writing, speaking, reading, and use of English. The statement of results and the certificates are normally sent to the exam centers within 3 months of the exam, but you can get your results sooner online. By the way, this is my certificate. Last but not least, how much is the FCE and is it worth paying for it? When you register to the B2 first, you will need to pay a fee of around $245, but it varies depending on the currency and the center. For that reason, on the Cambridge English website, you can find a center near you and check all the requirements and values accurately. Independently of the price, it is a certificate worth having because it is accepted for entry to foundations, pathway, pre-sessional courses in English-speaking countries, and it is accepted for entry to undergraduate programs taught in the medium of English in non-English-speaking countries. Also, it is a certificate that does not expire, so the price is fair. Another important question you may ask is how to prepare myself or my students for the FCE. When I prepare my students for the FCE, I use the Complete First. I think it is a very good, very useful book. I'll leave the links for you to buy the book in Brazil or in other countries in the description. Of course, you can buy it if you want. But make sure that you study for the FCE, okay? Because it's very difficult. So, what do you think about the FCE? Is it worth it to take the B2 first? If you want more information about the B2 first, leave a comment for me in the comment section or go to the Cambridge English website. I'll also leave the links for my blog in the description, providing you with more details of the exam. Well, I hope that this content was useful for you. And if you want more content like this one, make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video. Also, don't forget to share this video with the others. Alright? Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching me and see you next time. Bye bye. Remember that knowledge is never enough. Bye bye. Oh my god, it is so difficult to record in the afternoon.